Hey, it's 60 Yard Line, the podcast where we tackle more than just touchdowns. We'll talk about game recaps, news, and football fish. We're here to bring you a fresh, female perspective on America's favorite sport. So grab your jersey, pour yourself a glass of wine, and let's dive into today's exciting play-by-play on life, laughter, and, of course, football. And guess what? We are live.
We are back.
As we always promise, we will come back. So, as we continue on to our next episode of the podcast, we always start with our drink of the week, presented to you this week by Danielle. What did you make?
Okay, so I love a Moscow Mule. So this one is like a holiday one. It's peppermint. So it has a little bit of ginger beer, obviously. And then you take the secret ingredient is a tea bag.
You teabagged this drink?
Totally.
I mean, ladies, have you been
teabag.
there or have you been? Just say.
Not been. I haven't been there. So you take your vodka. So it's a shot of vodka. You soak it in a tea bag. You can use peppermint schnapps, but I think the tea bag is kind of cool.
So you soak the vodka in. Oh.
You just put the tea bag in there. It's so easy. If you want to take
I didn't know
mint
that.
and like muddle it, you can do that, but I don't have time for that.
Right.
So you take the vodka, you put the tea bag in it, you get it kind of minty. Then you put a squeeze of lime in it. And you pour, fill the glass up with ice and Moscow Mule.
Should we give it a shot?
Ginger beer.
I've already been drinking.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite
Oh,
delicious.
wait, the best part, cheers.
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 The fresh mint.
The fresh mint you put on the side, and then you hang a little, mine fell inside, but you hang a candy cane on the outside. And we put it on our site. It's so cute.
Okay, so what's good about it is it tastes fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The mint
Versus
taste,
like
yeah.
that processed taste. I think that mint is what really does it.
I think it's the tea bag.
Tea bag.
Starting off strong.
We're an A+ today.
No, really, I do. As opposed to the peppermint schnapps. I mean, I think the tea bag.
Yes,
really
it kind of makes it fun. It's like different. It's something you can make something different for the holidays. I like a Moscow. I love ginger beer, but this is just like something different. You can
You
say
know
you
what?
made it.
I would never drink ginger beer either.
10 out of 10.
Yep.
Nice work.
And that's really
Oh my
good.
God, amazing.
Yeah.
A++.
Wine and
Right.
I'm holding wine
So,
and
then we got bottles. We don't know what we're doing.
Double
today,
fisted and tea bag.
I didn't say it. I almost did, but I didn't.
We promise we're going to bring you lots of fun
Gotta go
today.
there.
We promise. So let's talk about
Football?
what's been happening in the football world, especially when we start thinking about like Big Ten champions.
Yeah, it's been a minute since that game, but that was like it was kind of a boring game.
It was very boring.
But you were happy. You wanted them to win.
They're all boring when you know all the plays that the other team is going to run.
You see how
she's
this
not
goes?
over it.
She's still
not
salty.
over it.
You know, it's funny though because I didn't see Izzo or Magic at the game. Oh wait, Michigan State wasn't in it. That's right. So,
And Izzo coaches basketball. Why would he be at a football game?
because he wear a bigger coat, so his man boobs are hidden.
I was watching.
Can we talk about that?
Shots fired.
I was going to talk about Harbaugh's glasses. Like every time you see him, they're magnified. It's like his eyes just keep getting bigger and bigger. I feel bad.
It's so he can see the plays on the other side of the field.
He got caught the other way, so now he's just going to get magnifying
bigger
glasses.
glasses.
Oh, that's what they are. They're magnifying glasses.
That's fantastic, actually. No, it's funny because I used to think they don't agree that I used to think Harbaugh was very attractive.
Ew.
Like a month ago.
I didn't know you thought he was
3
attractive.
weeks ago.
You think Peyton Manning is attractive?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's that athleticism. There is something great about it.
Mm.
But anyway,
Okay.
now I see the age, and I don't
Oh,
like it.
you think he's not as cute anymore?
Yeah.
He's
Not
out of
aging
khaki
well.
pants. He's in like.
Yeah. He got out of the Dickies, and now he wears Lululemon. That's too bougie for him. He's not a bougie
Oh.
guy.
Oh,
So
he's pretty bougie.
apparently he is. And so anyway,
That's
I am obviously a Michigan fan. She is definitely not, and she's in neutral land.
No, I loved it because we were watching the game and we were watching like with a group of friends and then we were talking about.
Were you there?
I knew as soon as it
No, I wasn't.
as soon
there.
as it came out of my mouth.
I got scared just now. I was like, what did I
No.
miss out on? Who's friends?
What do you mean
My-
you were watching with friends? I thought you have other friends.
like my other best friends. teasing you because
What?
last time I said that, I was talking about my best
we
friends from high school.
remember.
I know.
Yeah.
So you know what
Wait,
Megan Group. She's making every podcast. Megan is. This is
Megan,
the third time
listen.
I brought up her name.
yeah, this is not okay. Were you invited by
I
Megan?
wasn't invited. Megan didn't invite me.
Apparently the golf crew is over.
Sorry.
Okay,
So
that's totally fine.
we were watching.
We're
the
breaking
game.
up, Megan.
Megan, we're done.
We were watching the game and it was split. You had Michigan fans there and state fans there. And, you know, the girls were talking about all kinds of stuff. We were sitting at the bar and we were talking about what we make for dinner, which one of our grandparents has died. I mean, we were talking about like women's stereotypical stuff. The guys were watching the game talking about hunting. And, I was asking them, I was like, I'm from Ohio. So if you guys are from Michigan, if you're playing like a team like Ohio State and you're a Michigan fan and Ohio State is playing state, are you rooting for state because you just want Ohio State to lose? And Dawn says yes. And you, Katie, say you never vote for Michigan State.
No, I do
For
not
Michigan.
Michigan. I do not
Oh,
want
for
Michigan
Michigan,
to
yeah.
win anything ever. I don't care what sport it is. I don't care if it's swimming and diving.
That's
I
what.
want
So
them.
that's what the state fans
Do you
said.
feel
There,
the
they were
sadness?
the state. Maybe state fans are bitter.
Yeah. Well, they should be. I mean, they're,
I don't know if it's bitter.
they're on
I
the
think it's
sidelines
just
right
like-
now.
I
so.
have no room to talk
Gross.
because that game was going on, and towards the end, I looked at my husband and I was like, "Come on, it's like late. It's like 11." I was like, "Let's get ready to go." He's like, "I just want to watch the end of it where they give the award away." So I was sitting there and I was like, kind of watching, and I just kind of kept my mouth shut. And then we got in the car and I was like, "Was that like they won the whole thing? Like they won the national championship, or?" I was like, "That went fast. I didn't even know
You
it was."
ready for it?
I didn't know.
God damn it,
it.
Danielle.
I didn't know.
Do you not know when the national championship
No,
is?
no, I don't follow timelines of like college
Life?
sports. Life.
But she is the TikTok
So
queen.
when is this? I know when the Super Bowl is. When it is the
national championship will be, I believe, January 10th this year.
Oh,
There
so
is
it's
a
Always
game.
in like
It's in
January.
January, but
It's
like,
like
New
New
Year's Day, there's a
Year's.
playoff.
I went to the national championship one time in Arizona. I should know this.
I've never been to.
it's
Have you
so
been to a national
bad.
championship?
never
Did
been
you
to
go
a
with your best friend?
No, my brother-in-law played for Ohio State, and they won it.
Oh, well, that's pretty exciting.
It was really exciting, yeah. It was fun, but I feel like bad. I should know this. But Kevin explained it to me on the way home, and I feel like it was one of those moments where I rate myself as like a 1 or 2. And then there's other times where I say something really good, like an 8 or 9, but that was a 2. That was a 2 moment.
So Mike gave himself an 8 the other day.
Really?
Yes. And mind you, my husband knows football very well. But I gave him a 6 because I wanted him to try and overachieve.
Mm.
And he had a really good, and I don't even remember what it was, to be honest, that's how good it was. He had a really good explanation for something, and he's like, I'm an 8.
I'm an 8.
Like,
Huh?
so now, every time we rate
You're gonna have to
somebody,
knock him
it's
down
on
a
their
peg.
football knowledge.
You are.
So.
If Kevin
Yeah.
was, if I knew he listened to this, I would rate him lower.
Right, you have to.
But yeah.
So here's my thing with Ohio State. Michigan State, yeah, whatever, right? But Ohio State, it takes work to beat Ohio State.
Oh, that was a smash.
Wow.
So that's where I get my beef from.
So
Right.
you are always rooting for anybody over Ohio State.
Always.
Until one of our kids gets a scholarship at Ohio State, and then Dawn's gonna have a red purse
No.
and red shoes.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not like a statistics kind of person. I don't really know the statistics, but I recall several games
There were a
watching
few.
with you. Like, I think you started crying like a few times.
No, I'm-
Michigan State
Oh.
beating Michigan several years in a row.
See, the good news is I'm
So-
old now, so I don't remember that far back. That's what
oh,
happened there.
Okay.
I feel
But I
like-
do remember
Okay.
leaving your house one
Yes,
night,
yes.
all pissed off.
That's what I was thinking. We were over your house for a party, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden they weren't doing well. And Dawn's like, "Hey, see you later, guys." And I was like, "Oh my god, she's
was no
mad about
joke.
the game."
Yeah.
Real true story. It happened. But you know what? Here's the thing. And I'm not giving Michigan State any credit, but Ohio State fans are horrible. Heather, not you. You're the only one that's not.
Oh, Heather.
Heather, you're not. But there is a guy at the Meyer right here in town.
Armeyer?
Our Meyer.
Oh,
He drives this little red convertible sports car, and inside of it, the whole thing is like embroidered. Like the backs of the seats are like where you put your headrest, has the Ohio State logo on it. He parks in the far back because God forbid this stupid looking thing gets dinged up. And then he walks through Meijer with all of his stuff on.
Call me.
And
Call me.
I'm telling you, every time I see it, I'm just like, this guy is such a
How have I
douche.
never seen this?
The guy is so unbelievable, and every time I see him, I want to I don't know him. I have no idea. I don't even know his name.
She walks by his car and like spits in
Yeah,
it.
I can't
Douche.
stand him. He is douchey.
It does seem. It
But
does
it's
seem.
definitely
It
douchey.
seems douchey, but I love it because
I
I just think
mean,
it's bold in Michigan.
I would think anyone would be douchey unless it was all green and white and decked out in like Michigan State. Then that would be awesome. But like anyone else, it would be douchey.
Like, we have golf carts that are our colors.
Mine's very cool. Yours is douchey.
Mine is amazing.
So BG is going to a bowl game at Ford Field. You want to go? December
Yeah.
26th. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be super
Should
fun.
we do it?
That would be fun.
We could stay overnight.
My brother's in town.
Bring him. That'd be fun.
He would love that.
Just don't get arrested.
I know, that's a problem. My brother and I, we have a tendency to get into fun trouble. And then what happens is I got to call my neighbors and say, hey, would you guys mind pooling your little dollars together from your swear jar and bailing my ass out of jail?
That's awesome.
So,
right.
okay.
What else?
So,
what else are we
well,
talking about?
Well, we're talking about FSU.
Oh yeah, this
And
is
that's
like
a Katie topic. 'Cause she
breaking
actually,
news.
we've chosen to do some research on stuff because obviously it's hard with having jobs and kids to keep up. And Katie did a little bit of research on this FSU thing.
I
So
mean, when you say I did a little bit of research,
Well, like-
I like Googled it 5 minutes ago.
it was 14 minutes
she
ago.
saw it come across her Facebook feed and she was like, "Oh, podcast material."
Yeah. So, Florida State didn't get into the college football playoff because only 4 teams get in. Am I right?
Mhm.
Okay. Florida State wasn't one of them, but they were undefeated this year. But apparently they didn't have like great competition. Neither did
And-
Michigan, and Michigan cheated the whole entire season.
I have a correction
so-
too. I want to make sure because you said this to me and I made a mistake. It was also because of that injury.
Oh yes, that's true.
So
There
Yeah,
I-
so
was an
I
I
injury.
made a
think
mistake on
well,
that.
so they have
You were
like,
not correcting the fact that Michigan cheated the whole entire season.
they
Let's
had-
just
Cheated
make
the whole
that
season.
clear.
they have like a committee. So we were talking about this. They have a
Yeah.
committee that votes, and I think they took into consideration that FSU did they have an injured quarterback, and so
Right.
they look at it
Yes.
as like who is going to be the best at the Final Four.
Probably
right?
who's going to make the most money, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for-
the
yes,
for the
yes,
like
yes, yes.
the
It's, it's all entertainment,
yeah.
right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
That's what I would think.
So-
So anyway, they didn't get in. So today, it was announced that the Attorney General of Florida is looking into filing a lawsuit against the selection committee, suing them basically for information. She wants to know how they came up with their decision, and like all of the communication that they had, and like figuring out like basically they're like discriminating against Florida
Oh.
State somehow.
So, but what? Okay, so first of all, you know what? It revolves around money. So I think it's I think that's the reason they filed the lawsuit is because it brings in money. They were counting on it. They were undefeated. So what happens though if they win a lawsuit? By the time the lawsuit's over, what do you do? Add a couple teams in? Like, who was the other team that didn't? Was there
Well,
another team that didn't make it? That was
the-
in the top 6 or something?
here's my problem with this. This is college football, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't diminish. I think it's amazing. It's like my favorite thing to watch is college. I actually prefer college football over NFL.
Oh, really? Okay.
But these kids aren't getting paid. So now you're going to take $1 million of
Yeah.
Florida money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you're going to spend it on something like this
Yeah.
with everything else that's happening.
And now
right
they're starting to get paid a little bit though,
Right,
with
well,
all
the
these
NIL,
rules.
yeah,
I
the
kinda-
NIL rule is, but you know what? I also kind of like it because I
I
like
kind of
these-
like it too.
These kids, mind you,
I do too.
Bust their butts
They-
and
they
like
bust
the
their butts.
donors and stuff. They're like everyone's making money but them.
Right. No,
Mhm.
I don't disagree, and I love the rule. I think it's
Yeah.
great. But my even that, like, okay, so they're gonna be, now you're spending an extra, was it $1 million?
$1 million is what the article said that DeSantis set aside for this lawsuit.
And he's only doing it because he's trying to please people. That's
Yeah.
the only
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
It's all a show for him.
Oh, for sure.
Am I not allowed to say that?
No, you can
No,
say
it's
that.
kind. I mean, that's how politicians
that's what
are.
it is.
They
Yeah.
want
It's
people
a
to like them.
show.
And I mean, I think people take Florida sports. They take it seriously. Florida football.
Right.
You have like the Gators. You have. I mean, they are
Well,
no
I mean,
joke.
Any of those, like even like the SEC, like when you think about, and honestly, I only know this because of Eva, but like even the SEC, like the teams that cheer for the SEC,
Yeah, they're
cheerleaders,
legit.
that is no joke,
They don't mess
cutthroat,
around.
nasty competition, right? Because that it's just so powerful down there. So it's the same thing with this, but it's also like you're gonna spend money on something like this. There's so many
Right.
bigger things going on. So
Definitely.
I don't know, but that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. We'll see what happens. I thought it was really interesting that.
I did start asking questions when I heard they were undefeated and they didn't make it. I started asking Kevin. He's like, "There's a committee." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, what happens?" He's like, "Nothing."
Right.
So apparently, it was
It's
big enough that
definitely
something
interesting,
happens.
but like the Attorney General of Florida doesn't have
Better things.
fish to
Is
fry.
it four
Right.
guys sitting at a bar getting drinks and they're like, nah, we're not putting them in.
Yeah, no,
Screw
that
'em.
guy's hurt.
Yeah.
Let's give those cheaters another try.
Oh, here we go. So
Go blue.
you brought up something funny because you said you prefer watching college.
Mhm.
I don't know. Lately, the NFL games with the celebrations, I mean, I'll be laying on the couch and then I'll hear something crazy and then I watch the celebration. I'm back in the game.
Right.
But I feel like football is on at our house like constantly.
Ours too.
And it's does Mike do fantasy football?
Jack does. So Jack's on.
Oh, it drives
You know
me
what?
Crazy.
I'm so glad you guys said that because Jack just lost. So he has 2 fantasy teams and he lost one. So he's in high school and some of the seniors that were on his football team have a fantasy team and then some of the other age kids have. So he lost. And the rule is if you lose and you're the loser, last on the list, you have to run 2 miles and you have to drink a 2-liter of Sprite every couple minutes until it's gone during your two miles. And then at the beginning of your run, you have to drink a half gallon of milk.
Ew.
And when you get done, you have to drink a half gallon of milk. And I
What?
was like, "Do you think
But
you
he's not
could
gonna
die from that?"
die.
I know.
Like, is
"Do you
this
think
like
you
a
could die
TikTok
from
thing?
that?" No, it's it. And then the other kid,
Oh my god.
who I know the name, I'm not going to say obviously, who lost on the other league, has to run through downtown Oxford carrying an American flag with no shirt on.
That's more tolerable.
And has to drink.
Oh, what's the drink?
I don't know. It's something. Has to drink this like 2-liter of pop while he's running.
I mean, when I was in high school, we were not drinking milk and
I
Sprite.
know. I'll take it. Just
Yeah,
to get,
right. As long as he does. I mean, what is it like meant
What's
to
wrong with
like
these
vomit
kids?
or something?
Come
Like
on.
you
I think
throw
it's
up?
meant to just make them feel like
Like you're
idiots.
Shoot
stomach-
tequila
yeah.
like normal teachers.
Right. Jeez, oh Pete, guys, break into mom's liquor cabinet already.
I think in Liam's group, maybe last year, you had to shave your head if you like buzz your head if you lost it. But the crazy thing is like there's no monetary value. So I was like, here's the best part. It's like I'll be watching a game and all of a sudden somebody gets hurt and they're carrying him out and it's a quarterback and it's like a young guy and I'm like, oh, he has a concussion. That's terrible. And Kevin's like, damn it. He's my guy.
my fantasy guy.
I just picked him up. And I was like, that's terrible. And then like we're watching and he's like yelling at me, damn it, I just traded this person. They're talking about this. And I looked at him and I said, honest to God, would you be watching the Dolphins or whoever right now if you didn't have the fantasy? He's like, absolutely not. I'm like, don't do fantasy then, because it's like, and I was like, you're not doing it for money. He's like, it's like shit talking, bragging rights.
Well, we have up on our counter upstairs, we have the bowl games because we get into this bowl game thing with Mike's buddy every year, and he brings her. I think it's like, honestly, I think it's $5 a person or $10 a person, but you can win like decent money at the end. And a couple years ago, I mean, you know, I'm like, I don't know anything. I give myself a 2. Like I'm in there going, oh, okay, I'm just gonna guess. And Jack's in there and he's totally like, okay, I'm gonna do all this stuff, whatever. And then Mike does it. Mike loses. I lose. I think Eva even filled one out and it probably had like hearts on it. Like it wasn't actually filled out. Like we paid for her to do one. And then Jack won. And he won like $40. So we were
Oh,
like,
I thought
hey,
you were going to say 400.
no,
or
like
something.
he was like third place.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, you won. And we were like, let's go, let's take it and go out to dinner. He's like, that's my money. And I'm like, we freaking paid for that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
that's my money.
He was like locking that money down. So
Yeah, it's crazy. The fantasy stuff, like I can hear people screaming in their houses over these stupid games. And then I'm on the couch and I'm like, I don't know if I can hear any more football throughout the day. But then I hear the funny things. Like I'm paying attention to the celebrations, the fits that some of the players throw. Or like there was a ref maybe a week ago or something, and he was announcing, he's got the speaker on and he's announcing, and he's like, his knee was not down, his butt cheek was out of bounds. And I was on my phone, I was like, did that ref just say butt cheek? And Kevin's like, actually he did. So then I'm rewinding the TV and I'm like, this is amazing. And celebrations, when you hear the crowd cheer, that's when I pay attention to the TV. The celebrations in the NFL are off the charts lately.
And they don't get in trouble. Like,
No.
I do remember the 15-yard penalty for over celebrating.
Oh, 5-10 years ago, you
see
cannot
it.
do. Now it's like every time somebody scores, you're watching like, what are they gonna do?
What was the most recent one that we?
Oh, it was so good. I think it was the Dolphins. I just brought
was
them
the
up.
Dolphins,
Yeah,
actually.
so all of a sudden they score a touchdown and you see 4 guys sit in the end zone, like with their legs out in front of them. Some big lineman comes over and you see him put his arms across and like, it looks like he's strapping each one of them in, and then all of a sudden they wave their arms like they're on a roller coaster. Like stopping the whole game. It was awesome.
We'll post that because
It was
that's funny
awesome.
stuff. My grandpa, my Judge, he is 90 years old. He's had season tickets to the Lions since he was 30, and now he can't see so good. So, and he will be watching this, so I'm not insulting him. But he hates it. He
hates the celebrations.
Oh, he hates. He's like, this is ridiculous. Like these people, he
It's
gets
off.
so
It's
pissed.
off the charts, but it's bringing in money
He
and
gets so
viewers.
pissed. Can we talk about temper tantrums too while we're talking about
Oh yeah,
celebration?
Katie, you brought this up. You brought up the temper tantrum. Did you
yeah.
see it live?
I did not see it live. I read about it, actually. You guys, I don't really watch that much football.
Well, it's not
Honestly,
because you're
that's
eating bonbons on the couch. You're busy.
Yeah, no. Grady has basketball on the weekend, so we're sort of like in and out. If we're home, we're watching it, or if we stop for lunch, obviously it's like on.
I'm sure you get plenty of or football anyway. So
Yeah.
like,
But you watched the Lions like at a bar.
I did. We were actually downtown Oxford at the Tap, and I had never been there during a Lions game before. That place
Sponsored
was
by
rowdy.
the Tap.
Oh, sponsored by the Tap.
bring us wings.
Tap wings would be amazing.
Yes.
That's what we're doing next time.
Yeah, that
Tap
would be
wings.
amazing.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so it was pretty rowdy in there, actually. It might be fun to go there and watch a game sometime.
Do our
Podcast
podcast. They
from
would
there.
let us.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
would let
it
us.
was pretty
And
fun.
they have a brick wall there, like our brick
They
wall.
do.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
We're doing
for sure. So, anyway, the Lions game kind of sucked. There's not really a whole lot to say about that,
no.
right? Like, boo. But, anyway, what were we talking about? Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So I just read about him throwing this temper tantrum. And so I was like, what are they talking about? And so I look at it, like I'm reading and I'm watching the video, and like he's mad not because that they got called for, no, not because he didn't think the guy was offsides, right?
Right.
He was mad because the ref called him offsides. And I'm like, wait a second.
Yes.
What?
It's just like it seemed like from what I was reading, it's a play that maybe the refs kind of protect people from, and they give them a heads up like, hey, we don't want to call this play, otherwise we'll be stopping the
He's
game.
like, nobody makes that call. Nobody makes that call. Like,
Yeah.
and
But
so I'm
guess
like,
what?
is
That's
he?
still a rule.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe people
like-
don't make the call.
Well, was
and I
it
get but-
obvious? Was it
Well,
obvious?
looking back, like, yes. Like, if you look at the blue line that's not really there.
The one that's not there when you go to the real
Oh my
game.
God, have you seen that TikTok where the
Yes,
girl,
yes.
okay,
She's
so
like-
there's a TikTok and there's this girl at a game and she's like looking back and forth with her eyes and she's like,
The yellow
yeah,
line.
and then the words kind of say on the screen, they're like, every time I watch a game, there's that yellow line, and in real life, the yellow line's not there.
Yeah.
It's like when I was younger, we went to a Red Wings game. And do you remember when they introduced the hockey puck?
Yep.
The red one, and it
Oh,
would like
yeah.
light up.
Yeah.
And then I was young, and my dad took me and actually was like, I remember this too. It was like one of the best. Going to a Red Wings hockey game is so much fun. I don't even watch hockey, but it was so much fun. But I'm like, I can't really see it. It's like it's too fast. Where's like the light that goes with it? My dad's like, that's on TV. And that at that time though, it wasn't common to have all that like
Yeah.
technology.
I was
And
like,
you're looking
damn.
at one end of the like ice, and the puck is at the other end, and you're just.
I'm like,
turning
where's the red puck? What the hell? So yeah, no, totally same thing.
Yeah. So anyway, if you look at, like, the guy is definitely offsides. And so they called this offensive offsides, which is not a call that they make very frequently in the NFL, apparently. But he definitely was offsides. And Mahomes was pissed because they made the call. Not because the guy wasn't offsides. He was pissed that they made the call. And it was a really cool play. Like, he threw it to Kelsey. Kelsey did this cool, like, pass back to this other guy, and they scored. And they ended up having the touchdown called back because of this offensive offside.
so that I didn't know all of
Yeah.
that.
They end up losing the game. Was it because of that? If it comes down to that, then that's your problem, in my opinion.
Such a good point, because that's the other thing too. Like, I always love when people are like, "Well, if that one thing would have changed." No, you had a whole game of things that could have changed.
The best part is that you can see him like complaining and bitching, right? But you can't hear the volume, and all I think of is like how funny his voice is. So like I see him yelling, and it's like, oh man, like
I cannot believe this is happening. I cannot believe it.
He's got like the funniest voice.
And then I don't know. I don't remember who the quarterback on the other team was. I don't remember who they were playing, but the quarterback on the other team is like congratulating him after the game, and he's saying, "I've never seen a call like that." Like he's bitching.
He's still complaining.
Right. Like, he's still
It's so funny because his
complaining.
voice, like when you hear him, you're like, oh, his voice looks like his wife looks.
Oh, that's a good point.
Ooh.
Speaking of, she was like
She was mad
mad
too.
and I kind of think if I were his wife, I'd be like, you need to pull your shit together.
She was
You
mad.
need
What
to
do you
act like a
mean?
man.
Like she was in the stands, like
Because
bickering or
because
in
she's
her
like
box.
his biggest fan, right?
Yeah.
So she's out there like basically doing this. She's
her
like,
and
how dare they
T
do that?
Swizzle are up in the press box, like, oh,
In her-
what a terrible call.
Is that true?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Taylor
In
was
her
mad
puffy
too,
white skirt
but
from
Taylor was
Do
consoling.
you know what? That
Travis.
quilted white skirt that she wore?
It was yellow.
It was yellow.
Oh, it was yellow.
We were talking
It could
about
still
this.
be the same one.
So
but
you're talking about Brittany?
Mahomes. I saw it on Athleta's website. Yes. And I was like, is she wearing an Athleta? Like, the one on Athleta actually looked cute. And I was like, I can't order it because they beat it up. So I can't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No.
Interesting. So, yeah, that's an interesting fact. But you know what? The other thing is, I get being frustrated, but when you take it to that level,
Here's what I think is actually happening. I think they're struggling. The Chiefs are not doing as well as they
Exactly.
have done in the
Yeah.
past, and
He's
I don't
frustrated.
think that he is handling it well. I don't think he's used to struggling. I don't think that he's struggled as a quarterback with the Chiefs. Has
not
he?
with the Chiefs, but
No.
he struggled his first 2 seasons in the NFL, and it was kind of like,
Yeah.
is this guy always cracked up to
Yeah.
me? I remember thinking, and again, I didn't follow him because he's not from my team, so I,
Right.
you kind of,
Yeah.
but I remember hearing that, and I remember thinking, no, this guy was a big.
I feel like
dog
he
in
got the
college.
Tom Brady complex a little bit, where like towards the end of the game, you get that one touchdown and you win, and it's not happening, and he's frustrated.
Regardless, a game can't come down to one
No.
play call or
Well, if
one,
you're Tom Brady,
one bad
it
call or
could.
not bad. Like,
But you know what? Tom Brady, when he
At
played
the
for
end of the game,
Michigan,
if you left 2 minutes on the board
Yeah.
and the score was close, it was a given. He
Right.
would win the game.
well, the thing though, when Tom Brady was in college,
speaking of douchebags.
Oh, you don't like him?
I am not his biggest fan either.
So
And
every
you know
time
what?
I look at him, I think of, remember the Saturday? Was it Saturday? It was in Living Color. Let me tell you something. With his teeth?
Jim Carrey,
Tom Brady has those perfect big
I've
teeth.
never found
Fire Marshal
Watch him.
Bill.
Fire
Let
Marshal
me
Bill.
tell you something.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
You don't think his teeth
No,
look like
not at all.
perfect,
But
and he
I-
looks fake?
I do not find him attractive.
That's what I mean. He
I
looks
mean, he's
too
not
perfect.
ugly. He's
not
definitely
ugly.
not ugly.
No, he's not ugly. I'm not saying
He
he's
just
not
looks-
ugly, but my point was this: in college, he did not have a stellar reputation either.
Oh, he wasn't great.
No,
No,
he
he didn't
wasn't
start off
great.
good. No.
And so that's the crazy thing is like you look at these guys, they come out of they come out from college or whatever, and like Mahomes did, So he comes out and everybody's like, he's going to be a superstar. And his first couple of years were not great. So, all right. So have
He
we
turned
talked
it
enough
around.
football for all you guys?
Oh my gosh, that was a lot of
That
football.
was a lot of football.
Well, you know what? Yay us.
Are we keeping
did
a
our
are we
homework.
keeping a timer? Because we have a lot of things to talk about. Just
I don't know how
saying.
much time it's been. Well,
I don't either. All right.
all right. So let's talk about fun stuff. Let's talk about like
Random stuff.
random. And can I start it off?
Yeah. What do you
What do you
always?
got?
You don't have a helmet to put on. What do you got?
No, I
What do you
don't,
got,
but
girl?
you know
got
what
something.
I do got?
She always have.
I got
what?
us some
She's-
wine
she does, in fact, have a
condoms.
helmet.
Some what? What is it?
I do got some wine condoms.
Why? Oh my
I'm gonna
god!
show you a little
Darn.
something. Oh goodness! Well, that'll stay there.
She has a different type of helmet.
Yep. This one's meant to cover the helmet, actually. Kind of a half of the
Something
helmet. So these were a gift to me because apparently, and the funnier part is they're supposed to preserve your wine
Oops.
after you open the bottle.
We finished this one.
We finished our
And the
wine.
problem is I never have to preserve wine. But if I did, these little doodads right here. Let me show you how they work.
Looks
Ew.
like we have to describe it for our
So,
listeners.
our
It
audio
looks.
listeners.
It's.
Okay, so it is in a gold foiled wrapper.
looks
um,
exactly like a condom.
Like it
wrapper.
should be.
Condom. In fact, for those of you that are
I'm
not
like
as well
intrigued. Is this
endowed,
what?
it could be effective, right? I mean, couldn't it?
Oh my god!
I mean, I don't know why
I
you're
was
asking
like-
me.
Oh
I had a baby when I was
my
19. I'm
God.
clearly not familiar
She
with
just
condoms.
She doesn't even know what these things are.
Did you just say you had a kid at 19?
Yeah.
So she
That's
doesn't know what condoms are.
Fabulous.
This is going to be our best episode.
That
yet.
looks like
It's
what?
a real condom.
So you are not joking. It's
I'm not.
black. Why is it? I've never seen our condoms.
It's blue.
Oh, it's
Go.
blue.
It's maize and blue, but that wasn't on purpose. So you basically, for those of you not watching, we're gonna
Oh
describe
God,
it,
you're
but
doing this.
I'm
You're
doing it.
doing it.
You decide
Oh.
you're not going to drink your whole bottle
She's
of wine.
putting that on
Oh,
a
goodness.
bottle of
If it
wine.
breaks, we have a
Her
problem.
wine
She's
bottle
got,
is too
she's got
girthy.
both hands. Oh my God,
And
is
we
this
are-
health
you
class?
Roll it down.
With two hands.
Wow.
And then this is, kids, this is how it goes to keep the wine
Jesus
in.
Christ.
Okay, so now the wine's in safe. So this is how it goes. And I have several left, so, if you guys ever want to borrow one.
I have no
Good.
words right now. Like, I really
And now your wine
like
stays
doing
fresh.
that at I think you need to do that at a family Christmas event. Somebody just needs to pull one of those out and put
Have
it on
you-
top of the wine.
Have you met my family that they'd be like, "Oh, here she goes again." So this is the wine condom, and this came from my very good friend Sandy, who thought these were appropriate for
That
me
is
for whatever
hysterical.
reason. So
Like
yeah,
that is the best gift.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good.
total stocking stuffer.
I agree, and they're super fun. Like they're funny, and I've actually had them for a very long time. But I will tell you that's because I don't
want
ever
to
waste wine.
Yeah, you do. Oh
So,
yeah.
But I love them, and so it actually on it says
That's
wine
fabulous.
condom protection for wine lovers.
Very good.
That's that. So there you go. So,
What do we want to talk about now? What's an O?
Oh my gosh, you guys.
What?
Can I tell you, the other day, I was coming home from work, and like you have your whole day planned out. Like, I'm going to get home. I've got like 30 minutes to go down, get my workout in before I make dinner.
Yeah.
So I get home, I go in to like change. You know that I fought with my damn sports bra for 20 minutes trying to like smooth out the bra pads of the
Oh.
sports bra before I could go down and work out. I hate those things. There has to be a better way. Like,
Isn't
I don't
this what people
understand.
want to hear about? Like, the stupid stuff we have women
because
have
you
to
guys
deal
know
with?
you go through it. So
I don't understand it. Like, first of all,
Are you talking about
why
the
are they-
triangle? The little
Yes.
triangles.
But they're not even triangles. Sometimes they're like a weird shape
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Why are they removable? First of all,
Oh.
like everybody wants their nipples covered. I don't know a single person that's like, let me show everyone my nips while I'm working.
Every guy
Um,
is like,
Like,
Every guy's
guy's
like,
me.
we're the ones who invented them. So we make the bras.
No,
so
those,
they make them removable, and then they get all like wadded up in there, and then they make one little tiny hole on the side that only your finger fits
It's
It's
in.
so
like
weird.
this. You're like,
Yeah,
it's like you have like a claw. You're
See,
like,
I find those in my dryer, and nobody claims them. Like they just come out of the woodwork. They're everywhere. But if
They're
you
horrible.
find something you're shopping and those suckers are sewn in,
Oh,
you're
great.
like bingo, like in a bikini or something, and they look better. They don't move. They're perfect.
Why wouldn't you do that? But you know what? That's where, okay, so I found these bras on Amazon that they're sewn in. I don't know why I'm touching my boobs, sorry.
Yeah.
But, they're sewn in.
You can't talk about them.
I was like,
We're not
when
touching
we were, and they're amazing.
Ooh, maybe we should share the link for people. I mean, I want to try
Okay,
what you're
I
talking
will
about.
actually.
Did you
because-
guys ever buy a sports bra at Lulu?
No.
My
Oh
girls
my
have them.
gosh,
Are they
I-
good?
I mean, they're a sports bra, whatever. Like, but I went there and I needed a sports bra, so I buy a sports bra. The pads, they put them in at the counter. So you take the bra up to the
Stop.
counter.
What?
They grab the pads and they're like, "Oh, this is how you do it. You just fold it, boop, 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 and then it's in." And I'm like, that is not how it
No.
actually happens.
I got the little crab
Like,
claw.
right.
And
You
I'm
like
trying to
you
rip
stick
it
your
out.
you
Right.
stick your finger and you're doing surgery.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
false advertising.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Lulu.
I've never noticed that. My girls have Lulu like sports bras.
Eva
and
does
stuff.
too,
Maybe
actually.
they slipped them in there and I never noticed it.
Yeah, they just stick them in there right at the counter.
Well,
so
I will tell
weird.
you, so obviously I have a daughter, and she, between hers and mine, obviously they're different sizes, and so sometimes I'm like, nope, that's hers, definitely hers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't. And then I go to put mine in hers, and like it's like overexpanded. I'm like, this is freaking ridiculous. So yeah,
The stuff
need to
the stuff we have to deal with.
I know.
right?
I know.
It's so dumb. Like men, what do they have to deal with? Their
Us
really only goes one way, right? I mean,
Do
Well,
they
we have to think
Do
of
they
the stuff we do.
I'm
We-
sorry. I
what-
almost-
What did you say?
Do
You
they-
tuck?
do they tuck it?
Oh my god, I can't even.
Well, I mean, how
can't
does
even
that- how do
say
you
right
get
now what I
comfortable?
want to say.
When you're
I can't even say what I want to say on this
When-
podcast. Do you know? Is that why you're laughing?
Yeah.
I'm not.
no,
I
I'm
can't.
just picturing talking.
Oh my
well, how does
God.
it work when a man sits at work? Let's say he's sitting at his desk.
It just goes whatever way it goes.
No, that's not true. You got to have a
No,
position.
it's
No,
up. It's like
I've
on their
asked
stomach in
before.
like their shirt.
on their stomach. Whoa, I'm impressed.
Well, it is. Like they have shorts on, and it's like going. It's pointing up.
She went like this over there.
It is not pointing up.
Yes, it is. It doesn't hang down between their legs.
How do you know? I'm saying
I'm
it's a
assuming.
choice.
You,
It's
they
a
have
choice they make on which
Oh.
way it goes.
No,
Oh, I
everybody
don't know.
has a natural side. I've asked this before.
Dr. Katie to the rescue.
Wait, we need to have somebody on this podcast, and we need to say which way does it go.
Everybody has a natural side that it goes to.
Is
And
it
that's-
real?
Yes.
Is it
And it
real?
just goes to that side. Yes.
I-
I
do you
swear to
seriously-
Is
God.
this like when you
Wait.
eat asparagus and it either smells or it doesn't
Yes,
when you
it's
pee?
genetic.
No.
Tomorrow, all over Oxford, everyone's gonna say, "Do you have a side?"
Please
Do you have a
comment
side?
here. And ladies,
Which
ask your
side?
husbands.
Which side?
This
Comment. You can even comment. We'll put
This
it
is
anonymously.
scandalous. What?
What are we gonna do
Stop.
next week? Are we gonna? We're still in the Christmas.
I think, okay,
We
so
should do.
we have lots of great Christmas stuff. Danielle has a fabulous thing coming. We can't tell them. The
No,
secret.
let's kick it off with something fun, and then let's do a Christmas episode where we talk about Christmas gifts.
And it's going to be all Christmas. So we
Yeah.
might talk very little football next week if you guys are good with it.
just a little. If
I'm good
anything
with
happens-
And I think I have a special little shirt that I'm going to wear next
Oh,
week.
fun.
And I might not wear a shirt.
Oh, damn.
I'm definitely
This
wearing a
party's
shirt. I'm wearing a shirt.
I mean, this party's about to get real. Don't miss out.
I mean, you
So,
never know.
All right.
all right.
Should we break it down?
Let's break
Oh,
it down.
break it
Let's
down.
Who's breaking it down this week?
Danielle's going to break us
Oh,
down.
what do I say? 3, 2, 1. 60-yard line. Cheers!